Well, hello. Welcome to the last ever Confident Live Marketing Podcast episode. I never thought I'd say that. I'm not actually starting the show properly yet. As you could probably tell, there were lots of windows popping up. It's really annoying because you'd think the tech would go well on the last episode, but for some reason I'm not getting comments through, which is kind of weird. So why would that be? Oh, I can see Paul. Paul is here on the screen. So Paul is here, but for some reason YouTube isn't working because I can see the grammar detective saying, "I'm sad to see you signing off, but I understand. I ended my 4-year live stream show last summer." So yeah, it's an end of an era, but I'm going to be sharing my thoughts why I'm ending this. Maybe, I might do a few episodes in the future. But I'm basically ending this, and I've got some other cool things that are coming up in this episode. So I don't know about you, but I think it is time to get on with the show. Just to let you know, I actually haven't done a live stream on this channel for quite a while. Most of the episodes I've done are pre-recorded. So it's been a while, but I think everything's working. Let's get on with it. Oh, and by the way, if there are any comments, any thoughts, if you've got any thoughts, this is an interactive one. It's going to be a podcast, but it is for you. That's what this episode is all about. Paul says, maybe my YouTube is set for kids. That's kind of weird because I am seeing the comments on my YouTube on my phone, but they're just not coming through on through Restream and Ecamm. But anyway, let's get on with it right now.
Welcome to the Confident Live Marketing Show with Ian Anderson Gray.
Helping you level up your impact, authority, and profits through the power of confident live video.
Optimize your mindset and communication and increase your confidence in front of the camera.
Get confident with the tech and gear.
And get confident with the content and marketing.
Together, we can go live!
Well, hello, welcome to the last ever Confident Live Marketing Podcast. I'm Ian Anderson Gray, and thank you so much for your support. If you have been plugging me into your ears or watching on the YouTubes, the Facebooks, the LinkedIns, wherever you've been watching me over these years, thank you so much. Maybe this is the first time you've seen the show and you're kind of wondering, oh, that's the end. I'm going to explain why my thinking with all of that and what is next. Because this is not like the end. It's kind of like a phoenix. Is that the right analogy? I don't know. Anyway, thank you so much for your support. Since May 2019 is when I did this episode. There have been over 240 episodes. There's probably more like 250 plus episodes if you include all the bonus ones. And so in this episode, I'm going to be reflecting on all of that. My thoughts on the future of live video, why this is the last episode of the Confident Live Marketing Podcast, and what's next, and all that kind of stuff. So I can see some comments coming through, which is great because I want this to be interactive and all that kind of stuff. But if you could indulge me just for one more minute on this, because I couldn't do this without the help of wonderful sponsors. And there have been some wonderful sponsors over the years that have helped me. One of the first ones was Content 10X, Amy Woods, who's a good friend of mine. So yeah, thank you, Amy, for that back in those days. But I want to just have a quick minute to talk about Adobe Express because they have been a really fantastic sponsor for the last year. So let's have a look. Sponsored by Adobe Express. I've been using Adobe products for decades. I love Photoshop, Audition, Premiere Pro, and lots of others. But sometimes you just need something that will get the job done quickly, and that's where Adobe Express comes in. That I only recommend tools that I really love, use, and believe in. And so when Adobe asked me to become an Adobe Express ambassador, it was a no-brainer, especially since I was using the tool. Now, they've just released the ability to print your own design. So I got some business cards designed, which look really cool. This is for my Smart ADHD podcast. I tested this out with the business cards feature. You just need to click on print and create your own designs there as you go. And you can also print t-shirts, flyers, cards, and more. I love the quick actions that are built in. You can create QR codes quickly, resize videos, remove backgrounds on images and videos as well. And you can also integrate with Adobe Creative Cloud products like Photoshop. And if that wasn't enough, you also get a free social media scheduling tool built in, so you can share all of your stuff on social media as well. There's so much AI goodness as well. So you've got generative AI in there to help you create your designs too. More at the end of the episode. Cool, there you go. Thank you for Adobe Express. Thank you so much for sponsoring this show. And I'm looking forward to working with you further over the years. Now, let's have a look at the comments. So, my goodness. So Katie is here. Oh, thank you, Katie, for joining us. What is going on with my comments? There's some kind of weird thing going on there. Oh, I don't know. It's just weird. Anyway, I'm going to... Katie also says, I've absolutely loved your podcast. You've done amazing. Thank you so much, Katie. And Katie is one of those people who has been a listener to the show, and we've become really good friends. We've met in person. And you've been a great support to me. Thank you so much. Paula's going, I'm not quite sure what that is about. Phoenix, exciting. Yes. Oh, thank you. Okay, so we are getting YouTube through now. That's good. So, Grammar Detective, I've learned a lot about live streaming from your shows. And Paul also says on LinkedIn, congratulations on a great run. So yeah, do keep the comments coming. If you have any questions or any thoughts, I'd love to hear from you. So let's look back. May 2019. It was a long time ago. Let's see if this is going to work. If I go back here. Okay, so the first episode, I did a trailer. It's a little bit mad. It's got a little bit of singing in there. And then I did Why This Podcast Almost Never Happened. And that was basically my battle with perfectionism, procrastination, and all those kind of things. Because it was like, I started podcasts in the past. And the point of, well, for me, purely from a selfish point of view, one of the reasons why I was doing it live was because it was that way to get over perfectionism of actually creating regular content. And it's something I've been teaching for forever, well, since 2019, that it's the perfect antidote. Live video is the perfect antidote to perfectionism. And it's also, live video is also something that people were asking me about. Back in 2016, when Facebook Live came out, I discovered a way to go live from your computer, but it was complicated. I made it simple. And I ended up speaking at Social Media Marketing World on live video for many years. That's the kind of the background. So a lot of those early episodes were all about how to get started with live video, the confidence side of things, because that's my past mixture of me training as a professional singer, and so that performance and that confidence side of things, even for me as an introvert, as someone who was very shy. The technical side of things is something that has always interested me, but also the content as well. How to choose the perfect live video tool. We now have a plethora of different live video tools, but back in those days, there were very few. There was like Wirecast, OBS, was Ecamm a thing? I think StreamYard had just come on the scene as well. So a lot of those were tools as well. My first guest was Jeff, who is one of my great friends. And we've done some really cool stuff together as well. So it was really good. One of the other things about having a podcast or a show is that you can bring on some friends and also some other people that you've been looking up to that you would love to have on a podcast as well. So Nicole Osborne, Andy Lambert, so loads and loads of people. We also had Glenn and Ken from Ecamm back at the beginning. They came on. We had quite a few from the different, we had Gage Vandentop from StreamYard, Colin Gray. We had lots of fun things. Now, back in those days, I don't know whether anyone remembers this, but I did do these silly songs. At the beginning, they were just audio songs. And if you go back to the beginning, I had a lot of fun just being really zany as well. I have to admit, I'll explain in a little bit, but if you go to my Instagram, you can go back and have a look at these reels. I spent a lot of time on this in front of a green screen, putting all of this together, singing all these ridiculously silly songs. I kind of stopped doing those because I was just like, not really sure why I was doing. I was doing them because they were fun and interesting and silly, and that's kind of part of my humor. But they took a lot of work, and so like in the end, I stopped doing them, and I did know like people liked them, but I suppose I wasn't sure like ultimately what this was doing for the podcast, so I stopped doing them. I don't know whether that was a good idea or not, but maybe they were kind of, you know, it wasn't really part of the whole thing about live video. But I don't know if you remember any of those kind of things. But I'll come back to those in a little bit. But I just want to look at some comments. Try not to get too distracted, but this is exciting. Katie, oh, thank you so much, Katie. Your show has been pretty life-changing for me. Thank you, Katie. Yeah, I know that we did a big giveaway. I'll come on to that in a bit, but I think you won first prize in that, didn't you? And so you got like Heil gave a microphone away, and you got an Elgato Stream Deck and stuff like that, which was great. The Outdoor Station caught most of your video podcasts and certainly listened to many. Really enjoying peeking into the studios of others. Looking forward to seeing what you do next. Thanks, Bob. Yeah, that was fun. They were brilliant. Thank you, Katie. I did one for you when you were on the show. So that was fun. Where's the thing gone? So yeah, I did a lot of those. But coming back to the show, I had a Christmas special. It was really interesting to get into the psychology as well of live streaming or getting in front of the camera. I had Dr. Nick Lazarus talking about the anxiety of live video. And I'll be honest with you, that's been a big struggle for me. Even like coming on today, I have to say to you, like, I haven't done live streaming for quite a while. And I was thinking, oh no, I'm going to have to go live today. And it wasn't because I didn't, it's kind of weird. I did want to do it. But I've also always found it a little bit anxiety inducing. However, the really cool thing that I was reminded of today is that it's only a little bit of anxiety now compared to what it was like back in 2019. 2019, I really, really had to push myself to do this. And so it shows you, hopefully you have yourself experienced this journey. Maybe at the beginning, you like the idea of going live kind of stressed you out, and maybe now you don't feel so much like that. And we're all different. So that was really interesting. Steve Dotto, great episode there talking about lessons from traditional broadcasting, because he did some he was like a broadcaster in Canada for many, many years in the technical side of things. We had Be Live. Adrian Salisbury was on as well. My goodness, so many things. I'm going back into the past. Confident on live video when you're not. We had Restream on. Molly Mahoney was on. Janet Murray. What else have we got here? Then we had the first year anniversary. So yeah, that's so many in that first year. Mike Alton was on the show. Jeff was back talking about multi-streaming. Again, some mindset stuff. Talking about tools. Oh, Lou Mangello, that was a great one. How to grow your community. I'm going to come back to that in a bit. Chris Ducker was on. Louise Brogan, Rob. I always call Rob Bob. I don't know why that. Rob Balasabas was on. Isabella Russell. We had Luria on. Luria Petrucci, Ramon, Kim Gast. My goodness. We had Michelle from Heil, which was great. Katie. So Katie, I don't think had worked. She'd only just started working at Ecamm back in those days. So that was good. And then we had the 100th episode, the mega bumper edition. I think this is where Katie won her first prize. That was really cool. So I'm not going to go through all of these, but it's just a huge amount. There you go. There's Katie, who was on episode 129. So scrolling through all of these. And I did start to broaden out a little bit more. So I started to kind of think about other things that I was interested in. So that was cool. Imposter syndrome. And then we had a little break. And then we got into the studio setups, going behind the scenes, which was really, really interesting. Being a bit nosy about that. And then the final season has all been about confidence and communication, because you might have the best tech in the world, but how are you going to go live if you can't actually get in front of the camera in the first place? So yeah, that's what that is all about. Cool. Yeah, Steve Dotto is amazing. So keep the thoughts, keep the comments coming. Any of those episodes back in the past? Do you remember any of those? Any of those was your favorite? What do you think about those silly songs? I'd love to know what you think. And thank you so much for those of you who are watching. Martin Buckland, I don't know whether Martin is here, but Martin's been a great encouragement to me as well, and has been on the show. So let's talk about why I'm pausing this, or why I'm stopping this, why this is the final episode. Well, first of all, live video has changed. There's no doubt about that. The technology hasn't really changed very much. There are small little changes that are happening under the hood in recent months and years, and you know, Facebook have made things more difficult. They've made streaming to groups a real pain, particularly comments. So you know, looking at what other people are, because I think like live video, one of the big advantages is the community aspect of it. Facebook have made it more difficult as well. But also, like, I think the explosion that we had in live video back in 2016, 2017, it's not what it was. And particularly after, I won't say the word, but after what happened in 2020, 21, I think everyone really wanted to kind of get out and they're kind of almost fed up with that Zoom, the death by Zoom kind of thing. So yeah, live video has changed. Is it dead? No, it is not dead. I hate it when people like say these things like, oh, live video is dead. The other thing, 250 episodes, I feel, you may disagree, but I feel like I've shared pretty much everything I want to say about live video. Have I covered everything? Probably not. But I feel like now we've got 250 episodes, which are pretty much, most of them are evergreen content. Some little things in the past may be different now, but most is evergreen content. And so I feel like hopefully people will still go back to those videos and the podcast and still learn things as well. And I'm ready for something new. I have been ready for something new. I'm excited about what I'm working on now. Does that mean that I'm no longer doing anything to do with live video? Absolutely not. So although what I will be saying about myself and my direction won't be so much focused on live video, I'm very much still offering live video services. So particularly like for production and consultancy, and also helping with communication and confidence. Those are the three main things, I think. So for example, my friend Mark Schaefer, he's got a book launch coming up. I'm going to be producing a big event for that. Next year, or is it later this year, is a big event for a wildlife tracking organization. So I'm still very much doing that consultancy, helping corporate leaders with confidence and communication in front of the camera, and also turning basically with the whole process of turning your live videos into a podcast and the whole thing with that as well. Grammar Detective says, you have been a huge inspiration for me, Ian. Thank you. Thank you so much. It's been really encouraging to see you here. I don't believe that live video is dead. And let me explain why I think that is not the case. Has it changed? Yes, of course. It definitely has. So the answer, do I think live video doesn't matter anymore? No, of course. It's changed. I think live video is perfect for building authentic communities. Or you need to have a community first, I think, and then use live video to nurture, I hate that word, well, to interact, to give more access to you, more of that authentic you as well. I think we're going to want more of that, actually, because in this AI focused world where we're starting to see like avatars, AI avatars and deep fake, I think we're going to want more of live video. So I think live video is definitely going to be a growth area there. It's also perfect for celebrating like launches and milestones, or if you have an event. And I think with live video, you can have a much more impact and much more fun than a traditional webinar if you use like a live video show. I do think, now I would be interested to know what you think about this. I do think the idea of a live pillar content no longer works. So what I mean by this is kind of what I started the show with, which is the idea of talking about a topic and making that live. So it's content, it's your main content that's going to last for like evergreen, and you are doing that live. I think that did work, and it helped, the algorithm helped you, but I think that doesn't work anymore, except as a tool for you to help you overcome that perfectionism, as a way to get that content out there. There are pros and cons with this approach. Now, if I had my time again, or if I was starting afresh now, I still think that for me, starting with live video would be the right thing to do. But that's more for me, creating that content, because I know I'm going to create it. I schedule it for next week. I'm going to have to get ready. I'm going to do it. Now, I think personally in my business, I'm going to use live video for community and for events, not for doing what I did back in 2019. But that's because I have evolved. That's how I've changed. But also live video has changed as well. So I would love to know what you think about that. But that's my view on this. There are other things as well that have changed with live video, and other things that we can maybe look at in the future. So I've talked about this a few times already. I'm not going to go into it again. The last few years have been a little bit tough for me. Basically burnout, and it's just been a tough time. But I look back, and actually I think that's been a transformative time for me. It's allowed me to slow down and focus on what's next. And so I definitely feel I've come out of that now. I've been working on these really cool things, this new project, and I'm excited about what's next. So why am I pausing? Because I feel it's time for something new. And you may have noticed, you may not have noticed, but my focus has been a little bit more talking about AI. And it's not in the way that I think a lot of people are talking about. You may just be fed up and bored with AI. You may have particular thoughts about it. But I want you to kind of stick with me on this, because like I've not made a big announcement about this. I'm not like a massive one for making a big announcement. This is my new thing. From a marketing point of view, maybe that would have been wise, but that's not really kind of the way I am. So this shift has been happening behind the scenes, and I've been doing quite a lot in the realms of AI. Was it October? Yeah, I think it was October. I was in Boston for the Ecamm Creator Camp, and I did a series of workshops with my friend Jeff C. Part of it was on post-production, but a lot of it was on AI. In fact, the majority of that was how I use AI, which is more focused on the text-based AI like LLMs, like ChatGPT. And Jeff was talking more about the visual side of things like Midjourney and videos and stuff like that. I've also been working with clients as well, businesses who want to integrate AI into their business in a way that works for them. And I've also been building an AI toolkit. Now, it's not quite ready yet, but if you were to go to iag.me/AI, that's iag.me/AI, you can sign up for that. And I'm hoping it's going to be ready in the next week or two. In fact, actually, if you sign up and I see more people sign up for it, then it will get me, push me to actually finish it, because I'm almost done with it. So I've been helping to build resources to cut through the AI noise and help people use it effectively. Katie says, that's a very wise decision about live video for community and events, because there's a lot of people out there that don't have the time, don't have the skills. It's something actually I really enjoy doing. I've done many of those in the past for the likes of Atomicon, which when that was online, I helped out with that, with Janet Murray's Courageous Content events as well. And yeah, there's been quite a few, 2 or 3 others that are swirling around in my head. So let's talk about AI, because I think we've got a big problem here. And I don't know whether this resonates with you, because AI is everywhere. It seems like every company out there is jumping on the AI bandwagon. And I kind of like to group people into two groups. Group number one are the AI overlords, evangelists, or something like that. So there's a lot of overhype, fear-mongering in this world. It's like some people are acting like AI is either going to replace every job in the world or save the world overnight. There's a lot of kind of overexcitement about this side of things, and also using AI in ways that really not sure that's particularly a good way, and also like shoving it down people's throats and saying you need to use AI, otherwise you're going to die. It's like, if you don't adopt AI in your business now, then your business is finished. And it's just this exaggeration that kind of frustrates me and annoys me, because there is this second group. And I think if you want to be there for the second group, then acting like that first group is not going to help this group, because this second group are people who are afraid of AI or avoiding it. So they're either thinking AI is going to take away all our jobs, we're all going to die, it's like the Terminator, or it could be that they're burying their head in the sand. It's thinking it's either too complicated or just not relevant to them. Maybe they're just not interested. And so I think like neither extreme is helpful. And I think this is where my approach comes in. I've always been one of these people that wants to explain complicated things and like the middle way approach. And I think that's what I'm doing. It's this middle way. Because I believe AI, however we define it, but let's just say AI is an incredible tool, but it's not a magic wand. And so my focus is using AI to enhance your creativity, your productivity, but also your humanity and your human connection. It's not replacing those aspects, because just because you can use AI doesn't mean you should for a specific task. I see a lot of people using AI to kind of replace what a human would do much better. And I think we also need to distinguish between functional AI content, for example, using AI to create like a podcast show notes. So I do that because I don't think anyone really minds that you've used AI for content where you're just trying to kind of get information, as long as you're upfront about that. So functional AI or creative AI content where the human touch matters. So for example, with that, you could use AI to write your blog posts, or use AI to create your social media posts, or AI to respond to people, or that kind of thing. And I just don't think that is when we should be using AI, because that human touch matters. So it's about using AI to help us to do what we're best at. Automation is cool, but don't automate away our authenticity. And there is so much AI hype out there. I think we need to kind of separate fact from fiction. There's a lot of people at the moment talking about DeepSeek. Now I've got it on my phone. Let me just find it. Where's it gone? DeepSeek, which is this Chinese LLM, which is rivaling OpenAI, ChatGPT 01, and all this kind of stuff. Some people are saying that AGI, which is artificial general intelligence, is already here, or it's coming very, very soon. And I think there's a lot of this kind of not really defining it, and that kind of annoys me, because I think my personal view is that AGI and this kind of supposed singularity, maybe it will come, but the current AI tools that we have, like ChatGPT, they're nothing like what I believe AGI is. Will the current technology get better? Absolutely. Will it become AGI? I'm not going to talk about my definition of AGI today, but yeah. And yeah, it's I see a lot of these videos talk about automating engagement, replacing human voices, AI avatars. I don't know about you, but I don't like that. I think we should be using AI responsibly. So I've got this this is like a little thumbnails that I've got up here of the kind of stuff that I'm seeing at the moment. So no disrespect to any of these creators here. In fact, I watch a lot of their YouTube channels and I get it. The YouTube algorithm kind of is rewarding these clickbaity titles, but like automate everything like in HubSpot. Do you really want to automate everything? Do you want to replace the human in all aspects of your business? And then there's insane DeepSeek AI agent can automate anything for free. Or the AI, this really winds me up. The AI content automation system that posts for you. Really? You want to do that, do you? Or endless LinkedIn data for free so you can scrape all the websites. Or shocking predictions about society's future with AGI, and OpenAI unveils O3, AGI achieves. No, I don't think so. So I think it's time for me to kind of talk about all those kind of things because I have something to say about it. And I think my feeling is that there is a group of people who either are scared of AI or want to use AI, but they're overwhelmed or they're frightened about it and they just want their hand held. And basically my thing is to help them to use AI to help them to become more creative, more human as well. So that's the idea. So what does this mean for me moving forwards? I'm going to be doing more AI training consultancy for small businesses, entrepreneurs, same kind of people that I've been working with for years, building workflows, automations, custom GPTs, making AI work for you. Somebody called me the other day, Shelley Rustland called me a creative technologist. I quite like that, because I think it's that mix with tech and creativity. But yeah, I'll still be doing the whole live video and podcasting thing. I see AI as a powerful thing, as a way you can be an assistant. It's been amazing for me to help brainstorm ideas and actually enhance my creativity. But you want to use AI the right way without losing who you are. So in terms of like what's next, well, I've mentioned a lot of that, but will I be doing a podcast? I have another podcast at the moment, which is like my side project. It's my passion project. I've mentioned it a little bit before, and that is that's the Smart ADHD podcast. So I found out like 2 or 3 years ago, three years ago maybe, that I have ADHD, and that is I'm helping people with that. I love doing that, but it's very different. Although maybe there's some kind of link between using AI and that. But in terms of this, in terms of live video, in terms of AI, am I going to create a live show? Am I going to create a podcast? YouTube videos? I honestly don't know. What I'm finding is that at the moment, creating a podcast, and maybe I'm being a perfectionist here, highly likely, takes a lot of time. And so ultimately, what I want to do is I want to help people. So I want to reach people. And so I'm trying to work out what the best format for that is. YouTube could be a thing. Podcast, maybe. I don't know. But that's where I think I need your help. What would you like me to do? Would it be a live show? Podcast? Do you mind? Have you got any thoughts? Do you think maybe I shouldn't bother? I don't know. I'm not going to be offended. I'd love to hear from you. See what you think about this. You know, are you interested in AI? Maybe you're not. Grammar Detective says, all this AI stuff is crazy. It is totally crazy. It is like mad stuff at the moment. So let me know what you think. So is this podcast or is Confident Live dead? No, absolutely not. I've still got all my courses. I may do the odd episode in the future. It's certainly not something I've thought about, but I'm going to keep the podcast feed up there. All of the stuff is going to be on my website as well. It's the end of this format, but the future is open. There may be an AI podcast. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. So this is really time for me to. I'd love to hear from you what you think about this. Let's see. Katie says, "I'm biased. I love your live show, and AI Convo would be fascinating." Yeah. So you're thinking maybe a live show. That's an interesting one. My feeling about that is that I think live shows work for communities. So I think I'd want to start on creating more evergreen content, pre-recorded stuff, maybe, whether that's videos or blogs or something. But then one thing I would really like to do is to grow a community of people who like my content, who want to learn with me, and then do like a live show for my community, as opposed to just broadcasting it everywhere. I think that's kind of where I'm feeling about that, but I don't know what you think, Katie. Let me see. Grammar Detective, I'd prefer to see an AI live stream. Oh dear, everyone's contradicting me and going against what I want to do. I'd prefer to see an AI live stream than a podcast, because you could share visuals which may prove helpful. So that's interesting. Do you like the live element because you can ask me questions and it's interactive? It could also be a podcast as well. Or, would you be happy with just a YouTube video as well? Or the other idea is to do YouTube videos, but maybe once a month, do a Q&A that's live. I think that might be more preferable, because then the live is focused more on community, asking questions, Q&A, that side of things. Whereas you could do, the other stuff would be more evergreen. Or the other option is to do with what the likes of Steve Dotto does, and he has his live, what's he call it? Webinar Wednesdays or something. And that is more of a kind of like a private community. It's free. But if you want to watch the replays, I think he charges for that. So that's another option. You're getting me thinking. So yeah, some thoughts on that. To be totally upfront and honest with you, I think I've always had this kind of blockage sometimes with creating content. That sometimes if I'm in the zone, I will create it. No worries. But the thing with live is it did get me to do the stuff and create the content. However, in terms of the algorithms, I don't think it works well on YouTube for live, unless it's just for the live audience. LinkedIn might be different, but we'll see. I do like the live streams because of the interactive elements. Yeah, I think that's important. I think we're going to want more of that. So maybe the idea is to do like live streams once a month or something like that. That might be a good thing to do. Well, I think unless there's any other questions, any other thoughts, I think that is it. This is not the end. I will be back. I will be doing some more live streams in the future. I do like the idea of monthly Q&As, getting stuck into something in particular. And if you are interested in AI, if you're interested in live video, do continue to connect with me and follow me. I'm on all the socials. You can subscribe to my mailing list. I've not been great on that, but I will be moving over to it. I'm moving to a different platform at some point in the future. So I just need to get it all sorted out as well. Because it's a lot of moving parts involved with there. The Outdoors Station on YouTube says, it sounds like a lot of work, as AI is a fast moving target and there are so many different aspects that people are interested in at any one time. I think you need a defined story to follow. Yeah, and I might not have done a particularly good job of explaining that, but my focus is on using AI for small businesses to actually help you to become more human and creative, as opposed to just using it for everything. And I am more focused personally on the LLMs, the text-based side of things. So to use it in that respect. Now, you might think, well, maybe that's not so focused. maybe you're right. It's something that I'm working on, but that's something that I'm excited about as well. But yeah, you are totally right. There are so many people talking about AI at the moment, and that kind of annoys me in a way because there's just so many voices. It's and there's so much hype and over the top stuff. And I feel that there is this middle way. There are some people that are talking in the way that I'm talking about, but it's either AI is like the most amazing thing in the world, it's going to change your life, or it's the other way. And it's that middle way. Grammar Detective says, thank you for everything you have given us, Ian. I'm grateful for the knowledge I've gained from your shows. Thank you so much. I mean, that's basically been why I've done this show. I've done it partly as a business thing because I wanted to get my name out there so that I could sell more courses and get more client work. Yes, I mean, I'm not going to lie about that. That's definitely been part of it. But the main thing really probably for me is I want to help people. And I know that sounds a bit, I don't know, what's the word? Soppy. But ultimately, I mean, that is part of who I am. It's my purpose. Yes, I want to make money in my business, obviously. And I want to help other people make money in their business. But ultimately, that's what I want to do. I want to help people. And so that is at the core of everything that I do. And that means a lot. So I'm glad that you feel that I've helped you over the years. I'm not going. I will be back in the future. But I think that is probably enough for me. Thank you so much. And until next time, which there will be, I encourage you to be confident with your live shows, but in everything that you do. And I'm going to just end with now another segment from Adobe Express. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you very soon. So before you go, I'd love to tell you a little bit more about Adobe Express, who is sponsoring this episode. I'm a proud Adobe Express ambassador, and I've been using it for years to help create my visual content. Now, if you're anything like me, you're looking for ways to spice up your digital content and also to make it really super easy and quick. And Adobe Express doesn't just make this possible, but it makes it fun and easy too. And Adobe Express can be your go-to tool for creating stunning social graphics, logos, flyers, banners, you name it, and doesn't look the same as what everyone else is creating. Imagine having a powerhouse that helps you transform basic visuals into eye-popping creations with just a few clicks. Sounds good? Well, let's dive in a little bit deeper. You get thousands of professionally designed templates to get your creative juices flowing. And if that wasn't enough, you can even create your own templates using the built-in AI tool. So you can just type in exactly what you want and you can generate ideas and go from there. It's amazing. You've also got the ability to magically remove backgrounds, whether it's from an image or a video, convert images from JPEGs or PNGs, or switch up video formats using the quick actions. It's like having a mini design studio at your fingertips. And the magic doesn't just stop there. I've already mentioned some of the AI features in Adobe Express, but you have Adobe Firefly baked into Adobe Express, and it's getting better and better each time. You've got text to image generation, generative fill, so you can just remove or add objects from a photo. Working on a project with your team, well, you've got collaboration built into this, where you can seamlessly share and work on projects with shared templates and libraries. And you've got the amazing scheduler built into Adobe Express. You can schedule to Facebook, X, Instagram, LinkedIn, Pinterest, TikTok, and not just one of these per network. You can actually add multiple ones of these now. You also gain access to an endless array of Adobe stock photos, videos, and music, and over 20,000 licensed fonts. And you can even link with existing Photoshop and Illustrator files directly in Adobe Express and get them synced up, which is amazing if you're working with designers. Adobe Express works with QR codes, PDFs, images, videos, you name it. Well, why don't you just give it a whirl? Click on the link in the episode description or just go to iag.me/Adobe Express and let your creativity soar with Adobe Express. That's it for this week. I'll see you very soon. Toodaloo.
Thanks for watching the Confident Live Marketing Show with Ian Anderson Gray.
Make sure you subscribe at iag.me/podcast so you can continue to level up your impact, authority, and profits through the power of live video.
And until next time,
Toodaloo.